Hi, welcome back, and today we are tier listing all of season 11 of Doctor Who from 1973 to 1974. So this is the third Doctor's very final season, so we're going to have a regeneration episode at the end of the season, and we also have a new companion in this season in the form of fan favourite Sarah Jane Smith. So we may as well get straight into it with the first episode, The Time Warrior. So this serial got a 5 overall. I did really enjoy this one. It introduced Sarah Jane Smith as the new companion, and it also introduced Sontarans for the first time, as well as being the first episode to name the planet of Gallifrey. I really liked Sarah Jane's introduction and her desperate attempts to make sense of the time jump that she'd experienced, where she was sent back into the past with the TARDIS, I believe. And I just love the idea that she's just desperately trying to say, no, this must be a medieval times restaurant or something. It's some sort of event you're hosting and you're all just really playing the part really well. I did like that. I thought it was quite fun. It was quite fun that she was just trying to use any kind of logic at her disposal to make sense of the situation, other than going, yeah, I must have just travelled back in time a few hundred years. And speaking of the travelling back in time, the historical costumes, again, oof, love them. Gorgeous. Also, at this stage, I must say that I apologise to anyone who watched my Doctor Who ranking video, because whilst I would still keep the third Doctor where he is in that ranking, I mentioned in that video that I was not much of a fan of the Pertwee era of the show, and I was wrong. I was way too harsh on the Pertwee era. I really have enjoyed it, and I think doing these tier lists has shown me just how much I've enjoyed it. The unit aspect I'm still not keen on, but I like that as a narrative device of the Doctor being on Earth. I just don't like working with unit that much. So yes, I was way too harsh on the Pertwee era of the show, and I apologise to any and all third Doctor fans. So I think for this serial, I'm going to put it into... It's probably going to go into Fantastic. Yeah. It was a fun serial, it was good. I liked the storyline. I liked, again, the introduction of Sarah Jane when she was pretending to be her aunt, and the Doctor's like, oh, that's funny because she's like 80. I've read your paper. You must have been 2 when you wrote that. I liked that whole thing. I liked Sarah Jane. I thought she made the serial work really well. And again, I liked the Sontaran introduction and all of his little evil plan there. I thought it was all very good. And the MVP for the episode is Joseph Rubish. The next serial is Invasion of the Dinosaurs. And all I can say is that I am so glad that Jo did not last long enough as a companion to see Yates become the villain. Bad Yates. Also, Benton colour coding his little dinosaur chart. Man after my own heart. Love to see it. Love it. This serial got a 4 overall, but I did really enjoy it, especially more on my rewatch. In memory, I didn't think I'd liked this one the first time I watched it, but watching it again, I thought it was actually very enjoyable. Even though this time I knew the plot twist that was coming to do with Sarah Jane, but I did kind of figure it out at the time anyway. I was like, well, that clearly can't be true. So there was that, but I did like it anyway. Although there's actually one scene in it though where Sarah Jane's doing some investigating work. She's looking in these filing cabinets in a secret room, and she literally finds a category called Top Secret Construction Projects. I just feel like if you're going to have something top secret, give it a fake name. Top Secret Construction Projects kind of screams, read me, it's evil. Evil plan here. So that made me giggle. But I think I'm going to put Invasion of the Dinosaurs. Oh, do I put it into Upgrade in Progress or do I put it into Fantastic? I don't know if I'm just feeling happy today and wanting to put everything into Fantastic, or whether it deserves to be there. Like, it's really quite... I don't know what's up with me today, because I'm feeling like put it into Fantastic. But then would it be Upgrade in Progress? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, you know what? Because I don't know, because I can't decide, I'm going to put it into Upgrade in Progress. Because I feel like if I wanted it to be in Fantastic, I would know that. I would know I wanted it in Fantastic. So I'm going to put it in Upgrade in Progress, because I'm sure, I would be surer. I would know if I wanted it in Fantastic. I would be more sure of it. So it's going to go in Upgrade in Progress. And there are 2 MVPs for this episode. The first one is Mark, previously known as John Critchin. And the second one is Benton, because we love Sergeant Benton. The next episode is Death to the Daleks. So this episode got a 3 overall. It wasn't the best. I kind of feel like it's a bit meh. It was okay. I just, like, I'd already kind of forgotten what it was about. I didn't really enjoy it enough to remember even after 2 watches. One thing I do remember though, there was a Dalek that had a little panic attack when it discovered that its prisoner was missing. And I just thought that was really adorable. It made me actually feel bad for the Dalek. There was poor little anxiety Dalek. Like, poor little guy. He was having a little panic attack, bless him. I do remember that bit. But other than that, I don't really remember anything. For that reason, I think I'm going to have to put Death to the Daleks into Doctor Who. Because I just don't remember. And the MVP for the serial is Bilal. Bilal? Bilal. Next up is the Monster of Peladon. So we've returned to Peladon, and this time with Sarah Jane Smith in place of Jo. And the King of Peladon is dead and his daughter has taken the throne as queen. And apparently the Peladon people don't like it because it's a misogynistic society. For that reason it's going to the Scars. No. I don't really have much to say on this one. It got a 4 overall, but only just. It wasn't as good as The Curse of Peladon. The Curse of Peladon I thought was really great, but The Monster of Peladon I thought was okay, but an enjoyable okay. The only thing that I actually noted down for this is that the best character returns, Alpha Centauri, and his eye moves and blinks. I mean, considering the costumes for the monsters and the aliens in Classic Who, and bearing in mind this is the 70s, people, it moves and blinks, the eye moves and blinks. It's brilliant. I love Alpha Centauri. But I didn't love this serial. I'm gonna put it into Wibbly Wobbly. I didn't enjoy it all that much. Yeah, it also felt the Ice Warriors were put back into the villainous role, and I liked them in The Curse of Peladon because they had moved beyond that point. This is obviously in the future of Peladon from the last episode, and yet they're villains again. I didn't like that. But yeah, so it's in Wibbly Wobbly. And the MVP for the serial is, of course, the one and only Alpha Centauri. Moving on to the final serial of the season and the Third Doctor era, Planet of the Spiders. Now, being someone with arachnophobia, this episode is hard to sit through the first time, let alone the second time. I mean, it's no arachnids in the UK, but it's still hard for me to sit through. Even though the spiders are clearly fake, I don't care. Those things are fucking huge. The serial itself scored a 4. And it was a bit of a mixed bag again. Overall, I thought it was fairly good. I think it was a good fun adventure for the Doctor, and I like the fact that it was a sacrifice. So the first Doctor, his body wore thin. He just sort of got old. The second Doctor was forced to regenerate. The third Doctor sacrificed himself to save people, and that's why he had to regenerate. So I like that. I think it's new and different. And the cause of the story happened because the Doctor grabbed a crystal from this planet before and brought it back to Earth in a previous serial. So I like the fact that it linked up with something from before. I still hate the spiders in the episode though. I still hate them. So I think for this one, I'm gonna put it in upgrade in progress. Because overall it was good, but it wasn't the best final episode I've seen for a Doctor. And I just think, those damn spiders. Yeah. And the MVP for that episode was Tommy. But that is my tier list. That is season 11 now, completely ranked. And I think it's okay. It does seem a bit of a mixed season, which is a shame for the Third Doctor's final season. But to be fair, he did have quite a few good seasons to begin with, so you can't win them all. Season stats. The most common score, again, was a 4, and the average score for the season was a 3.77. The quote of the season is a conversation between the Doctor and Sarah Jane during the episode Death to the Daleks. And the Doctor is explaining how something in the episode moves, probably the Daleks. The Doctor says, they move by psychokinetic power. And Sarah Jane says, I see. And the Doctor says, do you? Sarah says, no. I thought that was quite fun because the way Sarah Jane says it in the episode is quite funny. And also, it's just quite a good quote for showing how the Doctor does try and explain things to companions, but not really. And then it's like, oh, you actually do understand what I'm saying? And she's like, no, not a clue, just... So I like that. That is season 11 and the Third Doctor era completely finished and tier listed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you next time for season 12.